Trails in the Sky is a beloved series. A lot of people love it. A lot of people actually recommend it to like get into the Trail series because it's just a trilogy. Honestly, you don't even have to play the third game to get the full story, and so it's a pretty easy recommendation. The issue is it's a pretty old game. It is like a PSP era game where everything's kind of like these chibi models, which is like that, you know, with the kind of 2D, not really 3D. And on top of that, it isn't really the most accessible game. You can play it on Steam, you can play it there, but like, at least from my understanding, I do not think it's available anywhere else. I don't think it's on console or Switch or whatever. I think it's only on Steam. And so I thought it would be a great idea to just remake the Trails in the Sky series with the modern Trails engine. And I feel like there's no evidence of this, but I feel like this could happen like very soon because you might as well. We're still in the same series, as in like we're still like following the same plot line. So if they really wanted to, they could, just so we have all the games on modern consoles. The only other games that are kind of that style are the Azure games, the Azure and Zero, and those were like very recently released to the West, like this year and last year. And so if they remake Trails in the Sky to be kind of the current style, I could see them doing that with Azure one day too. But I think Trails in the Sky is old enough, and I think a lot of people haven't played it, where like if they release that in the current style, they could really make it a big thing because it is a fucking fantastic game, beautiful story, and seeing it in the kind of like modern Trails engine would be very cool. I don't know if they should. If they really wanted to, they can do rewrites. I'm not sure if they need to because, like, for example, like Ouroboros is a pretty huge thing in the Trails games now, which is kind of like this evil organization. And I believe they had hints of it in Trails in the Sky, and especially in the third one, it was more prominent. But like, if they really want to, I could see them kind of making it more of an important thing in the game than maybe like more of the Ouroboros members are in the games or things like that. I don't think they need it. I don't think they have to rewrite the game. But if they wanted to make it slightly newer or fresh, I can see them doing it. And honestly, the biggest reason why I'd want a remake for the Trails in the Sky games is because mechanically it is pretty different from the mainline Trails games these days, specifically the bonding moment. So originally I played Trails in the Sky 1 like a long ass time ago, and then I went to the Trails of Cold Steel series, and that's when I actually got into the series, and then I went back to Trails in the Sky and played those. And when I went back to play the Trails in the Sky, the main thing that I realized was very much missing was the bonding mechanics. The bonding mechanics, if you don't know, just like randomly throughout the game you'll be able to talk to your party members, and then you get to have special cutscenes of like you guys hanging out or getting like specific character details, things like that. And I really enjoy that part of the game, not specifically because of the bonding moment, but because you get kind of like extra character moments. And on top of that, in Trails of Cold Steel, it actually boosted like the way you actually did combat. So if you had a higher link level or whatever with another character, you would do better moves with them. So I thought that was very cool too. And with Trails in the Sky, it wasn't that party oriented, so I don't think it mattered too much that there was no bonding. But like, if there could be more bonding somehow, I think that would be pretty cool. So between Estelle and Joshua, and obviously the way they end up in the future, it would kind of make sense if there's some kind of bonding moments. And throughout the game, you know, there's like the other bracers you kind of hang out with here and there. So I think if they were somehow able to implement the bonding mechanics into a potential remake of this game, that'd be really cool, and it would also kind of unify it with the rest of the Trail series as we have it today. And also, because it is a modern remake, you can just straight up have stuff that wasn't possible before. So the modern Trails games have voice acting. Trails in the Sky didn't have voice acting, which is something that I always forget about. But like, yeah, the original Trails in the Sky games did not have voices, but Estelle, Joshua, and a lot of the characters do have voice actors now. So like, you might as well just fully VO it now if you're gonna remake it. That'd be pretty cool to see. And also visually, like, I would love to go through Libero and like go through kind of the hometown of Estelle and Joshua, and like go to the kingdom and see how that looks in full 3D and being able to explore it. Because I remember when I went from Trails Azure to Trails Reverie, being able to see the SSS and the entire, you know, town of Crossbow in 3D was really fucking cool. And so being able to do that with Libero would be like equally as cool. So I think that would be pretty awesome too. And the last point, as I kind of mentioned before, is like, accessibility wise, I think it's just about time to have Trails in the Sky playable and everything else. Even if they don't remake it and they just re-release the same games, like, I feel like Trails in the Sky should be playable at this point on PlayStation, on Switch, potentially on Xbox. I don't know if the other Trails games are on that or not, but like, yeah, just have the Trails games everywhere. So if they made a remake of Trails in the Sky, I feel like it would just be a cool positive for everyone involved, people who have played the game and people who haven't.